in a baptism then, we need to make a public declaration. We need to make vows in order to enter into the covenant arrangement that Jesus Christ inaugurated. And so, in any kind of contract, you have to understand who it is that you're making this contract with. Who are the parties involved? And you need to be concerned, because if you make an arrangement with someone outside of the required parties, you could be making a very big mistake. And so, in order for a Christian to receive the benefit of the arrangement that Jesus Christ died in order to facilitate, you have to make vows to the right parties in that covenant or contract. And so, who is it that you're agreeing with? So imagine in a marriage ceremony, if the priest says the name of the husband and then says the name of some other woman who's not the woman that the husband wanted to make the arrangement with. Is that going to conclude a covenant with another woman rather than the one that the husband wanted to marry? Yes, it would. So it's very important to understand who the parties are that are involved in the baptismal arrangement inaugurated by Jesus Christ. It was Jesus Christ himself who explained the necessary parties involved in the baptismal arrangement, the parties that a Christian needs to make vows to in order for the covenant to be valid and gain access to the Holy Temple and forgiveness of sins. So Jesus Christ explained who these parties are in Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 to 20. This is very important, a constant feature of a Christian's worship. Once again, you should read these verses in context so that you understand that this command was given by Jesus Christ only after his death and resurrection. Jesus Christ didn't explain these things before his death. It was only after he was crucified that he gave this commandment. So read the surrounding scriptures to understand that this is true. So here's what he said. And Jesus approached and spoke to them, saying, all authority has been given me in heaven and on the earth. Go, therefore, and make disciples of people of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all the things I have commanded you. And look, I am with you all the days until the conclusion of the system of things. So that's it. Did you hear the parties involved? The name of the Father, the name of the Son, and Holy Spirit. And this is a command, a law that Jesus Christ made. All authority has been given him in heaven and on earth. It's his law. He makes the laws. And notice also that this law needs to be in place right up to the conclusion of the system of things. So you would be very presumptuous. You'd have a lot of audacity to mess with this law. You would be lawless if you changed any part of this arrangement, and the consequences would be huge. Carefully think about this. Also, it's interesting that Jesus Christ explained this only after his death, because it was only by his shed blood that this was made possible. And so he could not really explain this before he died, because it was not yet possible. After he died and his blood was shed, this arrangement then became possible. This is the most significant part of a Christian's worship, a constant feature to be maintained right up to the conclusion of the system of things. Carefully consider what Jesus Christ commanded. So now let's do another recap. We know that the transgression which causes desolation has something to do with the Holy Spirit, because sinning against the Holy Spirit is the only unforgivable sin guaranteed to cause desolation. And we know from those scriptures in Daniel chapter 8 and 11 that the disgusting thing that causes desolation enters into the temple. And we've learned how we can actually gain entry into the holy place, God's actual temple, through the curtain into the Holy of Holies, and that the only way in is through an arrangement that Jesus Christ inaugurated and made possible by dying for us through his shed blood. So, do you think we're close to understanding what the transgression which causes desolation is, and the disgusting thing that enters into the holy place is, that is intimately tied with the Holy Spirit, which is the only way to commit a sin which will not be forgiven? And so now we've found it. We should understand that entry into the holy place is through Holy Spirit, the name of the Father, and the name of the Son. And if we grieve the Holy Spirit, we will have committed a sin, a transgression which causes desolation that enters into the temple.